Hello, everyone. A very good evening to all of you, and welcome back once again to our channel to this another video of IELTS. So, today we are going to learn about report writing, that is the first task of your writing in academic. And for general training people, for general training candidates, we are also going to learn about letter writing, that is your first task of the writing module in the IELTS exam. So far we have completed the reading and the listening module. And in case you have missed out on those videos, then definitely look out for those videos, rewatch them because we have lots of online free material for all of you. So I would advise all of you to join our and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is with the same name, Shiksha Study Abroad. And also, please do not forget to register with us. The registration process is absolutely for free. So definitely it's free. You do not have to pay anything. Without any further delay, I would like to start with the today's class. And let's see what are the some of the key information. What is the sum of key information which I need to give you? That is, first is you are required to write minimum of 150 words. Now if you are new to this IELTS class which we are going on with, then definitely please look out for the June videos, because we had started with these IELTS daily classes in the month of June, and since then we have been progressing and continuing with these classes. Also, we had started with the TOEFL class. So in case you're looking for the TOEFL exam preparation material, then definitely this is the platform. And you can also get in touch with the expert counseling team who will be giving you the free counseling session. Again, you do not have to pay anything, and for IELTS we have lots of sample papers which you can download and practice from. So yes, coming back to the slide, first is you are required to write minimum of 150 words. That is the word limit for your task 1 of writing, academic people. And if you write less than 150 words, then your bands will be affected negatively. Okay. Okay. Around 20 minutes to plan and write your essay, or sorry, your task 1. Okay. Third is you should write a formal style of writing, so no need to write in informal language, completely formal it should be. Fourth is task 1 contributes half as many marks to your score as task 2. So task 1 is worth 33% of the total mark in the writing test. So please do not ignore it, because 33% is quite you know uh, in number, and it will definitely affect your score if you're not performing well. Now, let's look at IELTS Academic Writing Task 1 test format. So what should be the format? I'm not going to go into much detail because we had done it earlier as well. So I'm going to show you the outline and the summary, the brief of everything, and then later on when you try to rewatch our video, definitely you can read it in detail. So paragraph 1 should be introduction always. Introduction sentence. So introduce the topic of the graph, table, etc., whatever is given to you in the form of report writing. And what is being measured, what is the unit of measurement, are there times and dates that you need to mention, okay, in the answer. So do not interpret any of the data, do not compare any of the data. Instead, it can be useful to complete this sentence. This graph shows, you can start either with this. I have lots of phrases and lot of vocabulary words which you can actually use in your task 1. So right now guys, we are focusing on report writing, that is the academic writing task 1. Later on, after we have finished the slide, we will also learn about today the general training task 1, that is letter writing. So in case you're looking for that general training, if you're a general training candidate, please wait for your turn, we'll switch to that as well. Paragraph 2 is overview. Always remember, overview is the main paragraph of your writing task 1. So main features: write a sentence or two that describes the main features of the graph, the chart, or the table. So mention the highest points and the lowest points. If there are other interesting features that you would like to explain later, mention them here too. Do not explain why these points are interesting. Do not explain why one point is high or why one point is low. Don't interpret the data. Some sample sentences that can be useful here are: the most interesting trend was. Either you can write this line here explaining the most important trend, or you can also say it as the biggest change over the given period of time was this. Okay, so these are just few of the phrases which will help you to actually answer. Paragraph 3 is your body paragraph A. So either you can go with three paragraph format or the structure, or you can also go with go by four paragraph structure. It's completely up to you. Right. Pick up one of the main features that you mentioned in the first paragraph. Now you can explain this feature in detail. So whatever you started with in the introduction, you can actually go on in detail. Same point. You can do this in 3 to 5 sentences. So comparisons, contradictions, all of this can be done in main comparison paragraph. That is your third paragraph of report writing. Now mention all the numbers and measurements that are relevant to this feature. This might feel that like you are simply copying down the data that you see in the chart or table, but that's okay. That is exactly what you have to do in task 1. Again, this is not about forming an opinion or an argument. So you can also compare features here. Look for opposites and contrasting data points as they're easiest to describe. Okay. Paragraph 4. Body paragraph B. Just like in the previous paragraph, all you have to do now is describe the main feature. Follow the same method as above. When done, do not you do not have to write a conclusion. Simply move on to writing task 2. Okay, so no need to provide a conclusion in your report writing. Now, assessment and marking criteria. What will be the marking criteria in your writing? So, as with the parts of the IELTS exam, task 1 is marked according to 4 criteria. What are those 4 criteria? First is task achievement, so appropriate response to the task. This is very important. Secondly, cohesion and coherence, the ability to present a well structured essay. This is what it means. Lexical resource, that is vocabulary, so the ability to use a range of appropriate vocabulary. And fourth, but not the least, is grammatical range and accuracy. So the ability to use grammar correctly and to use a range of grammar forms. Each carries 25% of the marks. So please be very, very, attentive of all these 4 points. Now, what are some of the report writings? Let's go through it quickly. So this is a bar graph, okay? So the question also might look like this, might seem like this. Second, we have line graphs. So in the form of lines, okay, this will be given. Pie charts, definitely there can be one pie chart or there can be two pie charts to compare within each other. Then there can be diagrams or flowcharts like these with down, up and right, left arrows. Process diagrams. So process diagram will be basically a process or a diagram in the form of a process where there will be stages and all. Alright. Now, tables. Table will look something like this. Multiple graphs. So multiple graphs, definitely there can be more than one graph in a question like this. There is a pie chart and then there is a bar graph, right? Now, maps and plans. What are maps and plans? You can either talk about the changes or the stable things which were same throughout, or have there been any increase in the number of houses or trees, or is there any decrease or plummeting in the number of hotels. You can talk about certain changes which have happened in both the diagrams. So these are few of the report writings which you can uh, you know encounter in your paper. So you have to be ready for each one of them because any one of them can come. Not all 7 will come together in the exam, definitely, but at least one of them will be there in your paper. Now, what is the strategy? Understand how the test is marked. So now you know what are the four criterias or the categories of marking for writing. Then paraphrase the question. Please do not repeat the words. Write the overview. As I said, overview is the most important paragraph in your report writing. Support the main features. That means you have to contradict, you have to make a contrast, you have to show similarities between different trends, and you have to give the units, maybe kgs or kilometers or percentage, whatever unit is given. Please do not forget to mention that, as well as the numbers. Okay, number and then units. Then check your work. Of course, revision is important. Now, how to write an overview? Overview is probably the most important paragraph in the whole essay. In fact, as we will see later in this post, that it is difficult to score a 7 or above without a good one. So you need to write a very good overview if you need to obtain a band above 6.5 and 7. So an overview is simply a summary of the main or most important points in a graph, chart, process or map, and it is normally 2 to 3 sentences long and should be given in the second paragraph in which you write your task 1. Okay? What does the examiner want? An overview is one of the first things that an examiner looks for because it shows them that you can identify the most important information from the graph or chart and clearly identify trends and comparisons. If we look at the official marking scheme, we can see the word overview is mentioned 3 times. So you can see here, let me read out the band 5 for you first. So band 5, somebody will get a band 5 if he or she has recounts details mechanically with no clear overview. So that person has no clear overview, and there may be no data to support the description. There is no data also. That is why this person is getting 5. Now, who will get band 6? If the person presents an overview with information appropriately selected. So, if you have appropriately, that means correctly selected the main information from the bar graph or a bar chart or a line graph, whichever question is given, and then you write it in the overview, you will get a band 7. Sorry, band 6. Now, when will you get band 7? If you present a clear overview of main trends, differences or stages. So that means for band 7 you have to provide a very, very clear overview where you will actually give, you know, the main features or the important striking keywords from the different trends in a bar graph, or maybe stages or differences, whatever you're trying to show, like the comparisons. Okay, so that should be very much clear to obtain a band 7. Now, what is an overview? You can read about it later on. How do I select the correct features? That also I have mentioned here. So definitely these are few of the things which you should go on reading by your own. So I will directly come to this. Shouldn't I write a conclusion? No. Conclusions are really a summary of what you think or of your opinion. So this is not an opinion essay, hence you do not need to write a conclusion. Save your conclusion for task 2 where you actually need to write a conclusion because you're giving an essay, right? So guys, this was all from my side, and as per the academic task, now we will focus on the general training task. We're going to learn about letter writing now. So what are some types of letters which you can actually encounter in your paper in general training writing task 1? There are 3 kinds of letters. So formal, semi-formal and informal. Now you can get any one of these 3. Let's read about them quickly. So the IELTS general training writing task 1 measures your ability to communicate about common practical issues. You have 20 minutes to respond to a question prompt by writing a letter to a person, company, or institution. Your response is worth about 30% of your writing score. Now, first step for your tip for letter writing is identify the type of letter. Okay, you are being asked, is it formal, is it semi-formal, or is it informal? Then second step is to identify the purpose of the letter. So once you have identified that it's a formal, semi-formal or informal letter, Now we'll go into the description or the purpose behind writing that letter. So example, formal. In formal, you can be asked to write a letter requesting information from a company, applying for a job, complaining to a bank, store, airline, or a product or service, making a recommendation or suggestion. So all these kinds of letters will be coming under the formal letter. Now, what are semi-formal letters? Semi-formal letters are those letters in which you are either complaining to a landlord, for example, you're writing a letter to explain to a neighbor, or you're asking a professor for permission. These can all come under semi-formal. What will be an informal letter? Inviting someone you know well, thanking a friend, apologizing, asking for advice. So all these will go under your, writing a letter to relatives, to friends, to family. All these will come under if you have identified or known the purpose of the letter. Now we will come to the third stage, that is your open and close letter correctly. Now opening and closings are very important. You get separate marks for your format and structure, so you need to be very crucial, you need to be very attentive about this. Now once you have identified it's a formal letter, characteristics of formal letter is to someone you have not met or whose name you don't know. That is a formal letter. So opening should be like dear sir, and ending should be yours faithfully. Semi-formal. Semi-formal characteristics to someone you may or may not have met. Last name you know. Okay? So either you can address them in the opening as Dear Miss Mr. Brown or Dear Miss Stone. Ending can be like yours sincerely. Informal to someone you know well, whose first name you know and use. You can call them directly by their name. You can address them like Dear John or Dear Nita, and you can say in the end best regards, warm wishes, or warm regards. Okay, like that. Now, how can you actually start your letter? Open a formal and semi-formal letter with a formal sentence and paragraph. So get down to business and say why you're writing. Don't try to be friendly as you do not know the person who you are writing to. Formal, like I've told you, dear sir or madam, I'm writing to inquire about, or either you can say I'm writing in connection with. You can directly, start with the purpose of letter. Either in semi-formal, you can say I'm writing to inform you that, or I'm writing to. Alright. Opening an informal letter, acknowledge your friendship first. So when you're writing to your friends, family, acknowledge that your relationship with them first before explaining the reason for your letter. So here in informal letter, you do not have to jump into the purpose of the letter directly. You need to acknowledge your relationship first. So in fact, the first paragraph could include just friendly, small friendly talk unrelated to the reason for your writing. Like, for example, I hope you and your family are all well, with an exclamation mark, of course. This was so wonderful to spend time with all of you last month. Felt great to catch up with you and Bob, get to know your children, and have fun together after so long. You have always been dear friends of mine and always will be. Anyway, the reason I'm writing this letter is that I have some good news. I am getting married in September. So now you can see in the first paragraph it was a small friendly talk, and then in the second paragraph the candidate is writing the purpose of the letter. Fifth tip can be learn and use standard written phrases. So definitely there are some phrases which I'm going to give you in the end of this slide. You might want to use them and increase your bands in case you're looking for 7 and above bands. Sixth tip can be spell commonly used words correctly. So definitely spelling mistakes are a big no because your marks will be cut. Seventh is divide your letter into paragraphs. So of course your letter should be organized into paragraphs. First can be introduction, second problem and solution, third can be problem and situation, third can be solution and action, and fourth but not the least is your conclusion. So make sure to signal the start of a new paragraph in one of the two ways. So one is indenting and second is skipping a line. So these are two important things which you should remember while writing a letter. So do not leave a line space between paragraphs. Start writing to the little right of the left margin. So for example, this is the left margin on your writing answer sheet, and you have to shift a little bit to the right and then start writing, and please do not leave any time within paragraphs. Whereas there is another method, there is another approach to this letter, how you can write it, skipping a line. So when you're skipping a line in between the paragraphs, that means you have to, write very close, starting very close to the left margin. So start writing directly from the left margin. No need to, no need to leave any space in between. Now, use clear handwriting. Of course, guys, if you're giving a paper-based test, please be very cautious about your handwriting, because of handwriting many candidates have suffered in the exam. At least write 150 words. So same word count limit goes for your general training people as well. For academic also, I just told you that 150 words is the minimum which you have to use in your task one. 10th tip is include all the 3 bullet points. So all the 3 bullet points are those points which will be mentioned to you in the question itself. What do you have to actually write in the letter? Okay. 11th is finish in time. Of course, writing is a very restricted, time restricted paper, so you need to give some importance to time management as well. 12th is read model letters but don't memorize them. Of course, if you're cheating, and if you're cheating as in if you're memorizing something and then writing it on the paper in your IELTS writing exam, then definitely examiners will come to know, because they have checked lots of papers, they have gone by themselves through lots of revision materials, and they have themselves prepared like in some moment in the past, so they definitely know about cheating or the memorized words and phrases which you'll be using. So yes, no repetition or memorizing of words. 13th is understand the scoring criteria. Now that you know, there are 4 parameters on the basis of which you're evaluated, so it will be easy for you to very much well aware about the marking criteria. Now, what are the main differences? And this is just a revision of what I have told you. But I'm going to read the last column. The tone of the letter is formal, so be polite. You can't use contractions. So use I am writing and not I'm writing. So I apostrophe M will not be allowed. It will only be allowed in your informal letter. Informal and semi-formal letter, formal and semi-formal letter, you do not have to use any contractions. Here also in semi-formal, the tone of the letter is polite. So mostly formal language, however, use a couple of phrases that are on the informal side. Now guys, marking criteria, we have already talked about that. Here are some of the phrases which I was talking about. So you might want to copy all these and explain in your answers. I've also given some of the sample letters for each of the category: formal, semi-formal and informal. You might want to practice from here later on. So guys, that is all from my side, and in case if you have any question in the end, or even if you have any question later on as well, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is with the same name, Shiksha Study Abroad. And definitely please do not forget to register with us, because registration process is absolutely free. You do not have to pay anything. With the help of registration link, you can also get in touch with our expert counseling team. Okay, please do not forget that. And also we have lots of sample papers free waiting for you. So you can download them for free and you can practice from them. So somebody known as Precious Benjamin, okay, I remember your name. Yes, so Benjamin, I remember that you had joined our class before as well in the past weeks. So thank you for watching us live again, and thank you to everybody who is watching us live, or maybe they'll be watching us later on as a recorded video, no problem. So guys, if you have any question later on as well, please do not hesitate to put it down on the comment section, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible, because we do not leave our candidates unanswered. Well, that is all from my side. I shall see you very soon, day after tomorrow, because tomorrow is a national holiday in India. So definitely we'll be seeing you day after tomorrow with a fresh new topic, most probably on writing task 2, that is your essay writing. So please do not forget to subscribe and watch our video live. And thank you so much, guys, again. Bye bye and take care.